Easy people, welcome back to my channel at Big Steve MCFC. It's an early morning one. I thought I needed to drop a video about the absolute madness in the transfer window, what's going on at the minute. I think all City fans thought that maybe a right back might come in, but other than that, our business was done. And then earlier in the week, we wake up to reports that Savio is going to be off to Spurs. I think this one caught the fan base off guard. A lot of people are not bothered that Savio is leaving, and there's a lot of people that clearly are bothered by it. I just want to give my take on it. And let me tell you, this is my take, right? You don't have to agree with it. You don't have to go and cry about it. You don't have to start leaving nasty comments about it, because I mentioned on my Instagram, that I can see the reasons why Pep's letting him go, and people were going on as if I'm letting him go. So I'm just going to tell you what I think about it. I think Savio is a very talented player. I think that season at Girona highlighted that. A lot of people could see the potential, and that's the word, potential. He came in last season. It was his first season in the Premier League. The team took a nosedive, and he performed relatively well, to be honest. He was the leading assist maker in the team, and I think he contributed in the Premier League like 8 assists, 1 goal. But you got to take a step back. For the level of Manchester City Football Club that we're used to, the standards of the football club, and note the word standards, yeah? We've got to get this in our head now. We've got to have a standard. He wasn't good enough. Now people are going to go, yeah, but Doku wasn't good enough. This is not about Doku, because Doku's not being sold. This is about Savinho. And what we're trying to say is, looking at him through the season, going to all the games home and away, did he do some fantastic things? Of course he did. Is he good on the ball? Yeah. Has he got pace? Has he got power? Yeah, he has. And I think he's good for that. And he gets us out of many a situation. But my problem with Savio was I was leaving matches frustrated because the end product, he had the 8 assists. In my opinion, he should have had 15 assists, 16 assists. The amount of times he got in the right position and the first time ball across was on and he checked back was unbelievable. One game stands out for me. I went to Bratislava and Erling Haaland off the ball was going mental at him because the amount of runs Haaland made and he never got him in, never got the cross off, was frustrating. And I think that's what describes him for me. Frustration, frustrated. Now, does he deserve another season? He probably does. But the way Manchester City are at the minute, we want our title back. So Pep Guardiola, whose contract's running out in a couple of years, he's thinking, I need to fix this quick. So he's probably looked at the situation and thought, okay, these are the stats, these are the figures. He's sat down with the backroom staff and they've realised that he's probably not what they wanted, not the kind of player they want. So there's no point crying about it. There's no point moaning about it. We've lost better players than Savio in the last few years and people have made less fuss. There wasn't even this amount of fuss when Leroy Sané left. And Leroy Sané is a far better player than Savio. But then it becomes a silver lining. The gremlins start calming down a little bit once they hear that Rodrygo might be coming. Now, if we're getting rid of Savio and bringing in Rodrygo, I think that's a no-brainer. Do you know what I mean? I think a lot of City fans would take that. But at the end of the day, you've got to trust the manager. He's with him day in, day out. He will be able to tell you whether Savio is good enough, not me or anyone else. And then you look at the Cole Palmer situation. A lot of people going, this is Cole Palmer strike 2.0. But let's get it right. Cole Palmer, when he left, we had Riyad Mahrez ahead of him. We had Bernardo Silva ahead of him. Both on that side were both playing well. Palmer was getting bit parts. We knew Palmer was a good player, but did we know he was this good? I don't think we did. Did we let it slip? Of course we did. But you can't judge every single player that's leaving now with Cole Palmer and say, oh, this could be a Cole Palmer, because it might not be. It might be another Raheem Sterling. He might just go and fade off. You just don't know, do you? So for me, I think if we can get some decent money for him, then with what he brought to the team, I don't think we're going to miss him. And here's a simple, this will answer your question. If you are Pep Guardiola on Saturday in the changing room and you've got your team sheet in front of you now, pick your team. 90% of people's teams, Savio ain't in it. He ain't in it. He's not the first name on your team sheet. He's definitely not the fifth name or the sixth or the eighth name on his. At the best, he'd be last because you won't know who to pick. So I don't think it'll be a bigger miss than what people are saying. I just think people are panicking. We definitely need a replacement unless he's going to go with Phil Foden over there, Ryan Cherky over there, Bernardo over there. I don't know. It's Pep Guardiola. He's got some system in his head, and it clearly probably doesn't include Savio. So I think we just let it run its course. I think this week there'll be more and more talk and see what happens. But if we can get Savio out the door for good money, 60 mil, 65 mil, 50 mil, whatever, and then we can bring in Rodrygo, I think all the City fans will be happy with that. So did I want him to leave? I didn't want him to leave. I thought he was okay. But I'm not going to start crying about it if Pep decides it's his time, because something better will be on the horizon. You know what I mean? They've come up with some sort of better plan. And while we're at it, we'll talk about Doku. Doku is more or less the same. The word I describe Doku is frustrating. The one thing I'll give Jeremy is that the last 6 or 7 games of last season, he looked like he'd started to finally realise that, you know, get me head up early and get the crosses in. I remember Everton away, he come on, he changed the game. He changed a few games. So whether Pep's seen that and thought, you know what, I've got to keep one of them and he's the better of the two, I don't know. But this is about Savio. And at the end of the day, if we can get the money for him, I wish him all the best. Moving on to the next transfer saga, Jack Grealish. Now, Jack Grealish is another player that causes divide in the fan base. You know, I've had to go on shows this week and listen to him being called a flop, a pisshead, an alcoholic, this, that, and the other. It's bullshit. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, did Jack Grealish live up to £100 million price tag? Probably not. You know what I mean? Season by season, probably not. But we were thankful that we got the best version of Jack Grealish in the season we won the treble. And there's no coincidence that's when he was starting regular and playing week in, week out. So any fool with a pair of eyes can see that Jack Grealish needed to play. He needed consistency. He needed to be loved. He needed to be wanted in the team to make an impact. Coming off the bench for 20 minutes and then missing 3 games and then doing this, that, and the other, that's not how you're going to get the best out of Jack Grealish. Now, I know Jack has had discipline issues, allegedly. You know, we know that him and Pep have had a couple of fallouts over, you know, things he's done privately, etc., etc. So, you know, is Jack Grealish to blame for the way his career has gone? Probably, yeah. Probably Jack's got a bit to blame. If you sat with him, he'd probably say, yeah, I haven't been the best I could have been. And Pep Guardiola also has pigeonholed him on that left-hand side when we've seen glimpses of him in the 10. And we all were screaming for it. We need to see Jack Grealish in the 10. And when we did see Jack Grealish in the 10, he played really, really well. Do you know what I mean? Nottingham Forest in the league last season plays in the 10. Brilliant. Forest in the semi-final. Plays in the middle of the park. Brilliant. Then he drops him for the final. And I think the final straw was when Echeverri came on in the final against Palace and he didn't get a game. I think that was it. I think you could see in his face, you know, that it was over for him. But I tell you something, on a personal note, I've been fortunate enough to meet Jack a few times, and he's such a good fella, a lovely guy. And you've seen glimpses of him, the way he behaves around the children and he helps them and disabilities and things like that. You know, his sister's got disabilities and stuff. And the guy is a very, very kind soul. And I know for a fact that he does a hell of a lot of stuff for charities and people who've lost loved ones and donations. And, you know, videos of always popping up of him wishing people happy birthday and all the best and things like that. So he's a player that's close to the fans. And I feel like he needs to go somewhere. He needs to be loved by the fans and he needs to be loved by the manager as well. And, you know, he needs to be that game winner, that Jack Grealish we all know that's in there. And for me, if I'm Jack, I'm looking at that England squad and saying, my mission now is to get in that England squad. And I think he will. I think Everton is perfect for him. It's in the Northwest. He doesn't have to uproot his young family. And I feel like Everton are on a bit of a new beginning. They've got a new stadium. It's a new start for them. So Jack Grealish is a great signing for them. So and I'm sure most other Blues, wish him all the best. We don't ever wish Jack Grealish any harm. And, I hope he goes and smashes it. But you still can't help having that little bit of a sad feeling in your stomach when you mention Jack, that he didn't quite live up to his potential for whatever reason. Do you know what I mean? But on the Big Six show, they were calling him a flop and this, that, and the other. And I said, you can call him a flop if you want to call him a flop. Rival fans can call him whatever they want. But Jack Grealish won the treble with Manchester City and the World Club Cup and the Super Cup in one season. Do you know what I mean? Taking a part in nearly 50-odd games. So for me, if you're leaving my memory of Jack Grealish, that treble season, he ain't a flop to me. You know what I mean? He performed to his full potential in a season where we won the lot. So I'm not going to call him a flop. I'm just not going to do it. That's what I'm not going to do it. So I'm going to just say it didn't work out, but the guy's walking away with every medal you can possibly walk away with. You know what I mean? Anything that's worth its salt in English football is won. Do you know what I mean? Anything is worth its salt in European football is won. So I think it's just time to part ways. You know what I mean? It's a sad day, but Jack, go to Everton, smash it. Let me know what you guys think on Jack. You know what I mean? His flop a bit harsh. Come on. The guy's won the treble. Do you know what I mean? He's won the treble. I know they're all going to look at 100 million, but I've seen people in this league that have been bought for 100 million. Caicedo's, Enzo Fernandez, etc., etc. They ain't won the treble. You know what I mean? They're ticking along, winning a couple, the Conference League, and then the World Club Cup. But no one's saying that about them. I know, and they're starting regular. You know what I mean? Jack didn't get that break. You know what I mean? Stop, start. It's not the way to do it for Jack Grealish. I'm telling you now, if Jack Grealish starts the first 10 games for Everton, you're going to see decent levels, because I think Pep missed a little bit of a trick with it there as well. You know what I mean? But we've got to move on. So Jack, we wish all the best. Then another thing comes out of the blue. James McAtee, Nottingham Forest. A good move for James. I feel like McAtee was always going to leave. I don't think he's another one that can get guaranteed time off Pep. So we have to find a solution. I think Forest is a good option for him. I think he'll play regular. Same again, fan base in a meltdown. This is a Cole Palmer part two. Cole Palmer part two. You got to understand, we've got 32 squad players. We can't keep everybody. We've got to trim it. And then they're saying, why don't we sell Gundogan? Why don't we sell Kovacic? Why don't we sell this? It just doesn't work like that. You know what I mean? We do need experienced players in the squad. We do need them older heads in there to bring these youngsters through. So we can't just sell all the old players and have a team of young players, because it's not going to work like that. Because when the going gets tough, these lads won't know what to do. So we need the experienced bodies in there. So McAtee, for me, if he goes, if there's a sell-on clause somewhere, I think that's good business. Another player that, in my opinion, I don't think he was quite good enough for us and where we need to go. But he is a good player, so he needs to go and play. So I wish James McAtee all the best. Don't know what you guys think about him. I know some people said they'd keep him. For me, I just don't see where he fits in. And then, just randomly out of nowhere, Donnarumma, the PSG goalkeeper, is parting ways with PSG. Fabrizio Romano starts to tweet that Manchester City are involved. And I'm thinking, hold on a minute, we just signed James Trafford. We've still got Ortega. Ederson looks like he's going to be number one. Why do we need Donnarumma? Then it's coming out now that maybe Ederson's going to Galatasaray. So this is a bit left field. I mean, is Donnarumma a good goalkeeper? He's world-class goalkeeper, don't get me wrong. Does he look like a Pep Guardiola goalkeeper? For me, no. I don't see it, you know what I mean? Especially on the floor. But they're saying he spoke to Pep and Pep fancies him. So I don't know. Is Pep changing his style a little bit? Is Pep just going for guaranteed 100% players that can slot right in with no, no potential, just straight in? You're going to make us better. Let's go. But I think a lot of City fans would take Donnarumma. I think they would. I think he's a fantastic goalkeeper. I don't know where it leaves James Trafford, but at the end of the day, I don't think they can pass it up. If he's willing to take a pay cut, like they were saying, to get a move, and Paris Saint-Germain, the fee's not that high, then I think Donnarumma would be a good signing. So basically, if we can get Donnarumma and Rodrygo in, and we lose Ederson and Savio, I feel like that's an upgrade. I do. I feel like it's a strong upgrade. I still think the right back position's worrying everybody, but we've still got another problem of players leaving. It's all right letting players go, but you're bringing players back in. You know what I mean? So we've still got that same problem. I think Echeverry's going to go out on loan. I do feel like with Cherky and Foden and etc., I don't think he's going to get a game. So not this season anyway. So maybe a loan deal might work. I would have kept him. I'd have kept him around the squad. But I think Pep realising he needs games, playing in the under-23 team, he's not going to develop him for me. You know what I mean? And I think he needs more than just training. So, and can City guarantee it? Carabao Cup games, etc. Is there enough of them for him to be happy? Or does he go and get 25, 30 games under his belt somewhere else? We'll have to see. Let me know what you think on that one. But other than that, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. It's Thursday morning. Let's see. It's Wednesday morning. Let's see what this week brings. We've got Wolves coming up at the weekend. I'm going to do a preview probably Friday on that one. But I'd just like to say I appreciate everyone's support. I didn't do a video for 6 weeks. My algorithm was on its arse. And I did a video a couple of weeks ago, and I thought didn't start too well. But then as it's the weeks have gone on, the numbers have gone higher and higher, and you guys have been supporting it so well. So it gives me a little bit of confidence to know that people do want to hear me speak, So I'm happy with that. And we're on our road to 30k subscribers. It's never been about subscribers for me, you know that. But one day I'd like to get to 100,000. I don't think I ever will because I don't post enough. But 30k is a great number for me. If I could get to 50k, I'd be absolutely buzzing with it. But I need to do more. I know that. So I promise you I'm going to do some more. I promise you that I'm going to be a little bit more active. I'm so excited for Wolves' first game of the season. Want to get back into it now. But let me know what you think about the transfer madness. You know what I mean? And before you leave a comment, remember, it isn't me selling the players. It isn't me letting Jack go. It isn't me letting Pep go. Pep sell Savinho. So don't speak to me like it's me. That's just my opinion. And I just give it. If you don't like it, then maybe this channel ain't for you. But I'm willing to listen to your opinion. But just don't reference it as if I'm letting him go. Do you know what I mean? Because I find it very weird. Very mad. So other than that, keep the faith. The season is upon us. It's Manchester City. It's the madness of the Blues. We love it. Let's get ready for Wolves at weekend. I'll see you soon with a preview. Leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment, and I'll get back to you. Up the Blues.